My name's Caroline Karimi Mutweri. I'm a single mom of one child. He'll be turning 18 this year. I really thank God for that. I'm a sales and marketing executive which distributes medical devices and non-pharmaceuticals to various government hospitals and also non-governmental. I came to know about the station through my mom. That was back then, even though I was not born again, but then we didn't have a color TV or a TV that would get now other station. So my mom will go, our village is Kangemi, so he will go to Kangemi and she would listen. She just wanted to go and listen to, because I think it was among the very first Christian stations that came. So she will just go want to watch family media, and that's how I came to know about family media. I received Christ through a Joel Austin show. That time I was really stressed, and during those days I think Joel Austin used to come around 10, 11 that time, because I remember vividly it was late at night, stressed up over something, over a breakup. But the message that Joel Austin gave that evening, it touched me, and I received Christ then. And then I started now making a follow-up. I'm an Anglican. Yes, brought up, raised as an Anglican. So after that I started following up with church in the Anglican church. Yeah, but more so, family media and family shows have really helped me grow spiritually. I also listen to a celebration of music, and there is this time where Njeru will, I think it's about the artist or the story behind the artist, and there are those stories that really encourage me. Not knowing, you will see Akina Brandon Lake, Sisi Winans, you'll never think they're going through, but there are those times or days where Njeru will focus on the story behind the artist, and this will help me grow spiritually. Other than that, there's a family devotion in the morning, which I listen to as I'm preparing to come to work. It has also been of beneficial to me and in my Christian walk. What really drew me, I asked myself, there are these other stations, and as a marketer, whatever you're bringing to the table is what's like me. I'm a marketer. I get to know that if there is rent being paid in that office, so it is for you people. So I just kept and asked myself, how do family media survive? Because you will rarely see adverts. By the way, that's one thing I loved. When you're watching before these, these coders came, where now you can watch a movie without any advert. Before you will be like 5 minutes and then there's an advert. But I asked myself, how does family media survive without adverts? And yet that's the source of income. That's the number one source of income to most family or to most media houses. And that drew me. And there is this, you always drawn that for you to become a partner. Actually, I think I started giving when it was still, pay bill had not come. So then I was not giving consistently, but I think then we used to deposit at Cooperative Bank, I think. So once in a while I will pop in Cooperative and I will give my share. I can say it has been, one thing is for sure, giving to God's service. I can't be out there, what you're doing, spreading the gospel. I can't be here and there, but I know when I am giving, that way someone else will receive Christ, someone else will get to know about the message of Christ. Yes, it has been fulfilling. To me, it has been. It was a difficult year, and I assume for most of us last year, there was a time I could not be able to give. You're trying to, and you don't even get what you're going to give. Tithing was also a problem. But I think towards the end of last year, I just said, there is this amount I'll be giving. I'll try to be giving every little or just a share every week for me to attain my target that I have set to give every month. I'll be giving. I'll be sending in kidogo every week, and then I get to see. And since then, it has been an easy journey for me.
To become a partner with us, SMS the word partner to 20316 or send your donations to M-Pesa paybill number 316 316, account number is your phone number.
You will find beggars in the streets. Some of them are genuine, others are not genuine. The same case with stations, some are genuine, others are not. But it is that conviction that one has to give. For me, I would encourage and pray that God may use people, because it's my desire, the job that you're doing, it's my desire that you get more and more partners so that all over the world might know about Jesus. There are so many benefits of becoming a partner with family media. You don't have to wait to get a lot of money for you to become a partner. Whatever you have, you can just send in. You can just send in your one-time donation. You can be sending daily. It doesn't matter whatever you send, but it's going to go a long way, and it's going to help someone know about Jesus.
Welcome. This is Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. Yes, at Motivation Monday, we aim to have your faith actually be lived out, in the real world. And so various challenging conversations that we bring your way, various inspiring stories that we bring your way. And today's particular topic and conversation is actually both a challenging conversation, and the person bringing us this conversation is an inspiring story himself. Mr. Obadiah Ndege is joining us for this conversation. He's a teacher and a coach, and he's helping us unpack the conversation on survival for the fittest, with a question mark at the end. That is what we'll be talking about today. You and I know that we live in a society that props us and, conditions us to strive to be the best, to strive to be the strongest, to strive, to be the one that is all these things, with the promise that if we do that, then we will be able to gain ultimately. But is that always the case? And is that even healthy in the first place? This is part of the things that we'll be talking about today. And so I invite you to join us. Send in your comments, send in your questions. We're also live on YouTube as we speak. Would love to hear from you. 20316 is our SMS line. 0786 316 316 is our WhatsApp line. But for now, let's get right to it. Mr. Obadiah Ndege, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Maybe before we even get to our conversation, and I'm so eager to get right to it, just help us by way of introduction. I have made a very sketchy introduction of yourself, so please do introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah, my name is Obadiah Ndege, or Obadiah Ndege, if you're Kenyan, depending on your pronunciation. And yeah, I'm born again. I love Jesus, married to one wife, have one son. And yes, I used to be a teacher at an international school. Previously, I used to be a professional footballer, and yeah, currently I'm working as a private coach, coaching different sports, including squash, swimming, and just different sports. Yes, that is.
All right. So you mentioned something I think that must have piqued the interest of many. You used to be a professional footballer.
Yes.
So I want us to go all the way back, even as we come to you being a professional footballer in that period that you were. When did that interest originate? Is that something that, one day you woke up and you found yourself playing in the league, or do the roots of that start way back?
The roots start way back. I can say it is something innate that God gave me. So yeah, as far as I was aware of myself, I remember it was in kindergarten. We were playing football and we had teams. So I didn't know that those were actually nations. We were two teams in our kindergarten. There was Argentina and Cameroon. And I remember we used to be very happy playing for our parents when they come during closing day. And it's something that used to make my, like my heart feel, with a lot of joy. So from as early as kindergarten, and that was pretty young, you cannot say that is something that was taught.
Yeah.
So it is just something innate. And I came to learn later that my dad used to play football, and my grandfather, my dad's dad, also used to play football. So I think it is something innate or genetic, God-given, that I kept on going with it. And in my early years, God granted me the grace to have some coaches or some people, who taught me now, as I continued on in my early years, in my development, and by God's grace, I came to the University of Nairobi, and here is where the exposure was, because I was back in the village in Gilgil, where exposure is not that much. There wasn't a lot of teams in there that would give you that, you know, capacity. There are several teams around the village and whatnot, but they were not in the Premier League. They were just in the divisional league or national leagues, which I played for and all that. But this was also something that contributed to my experience and maybe becoming really good. And when I was at the university, one of the coaches who had encountered me before was actually coaching FC Leopards, and we interacted. We came across each other at the university, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" I told him, "Yeah, I am studying at the university." He's like, "Hey, and are you still playing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still playing," because I was still playing for the university team. And yeah, he invited me for trials at the FC Leopards, and I went, and boom, that was it. So started my professional career in the Premier League, just like that. But it was after a very long journey of, you know, playing for different teams and known teams down there on the ground, for the love of the game, not really, you know, thinking about, you know, Premier League, but it was my my aim, I could say, my desire. And as God would grant, he actually gave me the team that I used to support when I was a little kid, when we used to watch it on KBC TV, FC Leopards. Yes, so that was pretty good.
What position?
I was a striker.
You are a striker.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and so there are two interesting things in your story, and we will be, you know, getting round to your time as a professional footballer. But you mentioned that you are at the University of Nairobi.
Yes.
What were you doing there? Were you, had you gone to say hi to someone?
Unfortunately, no, I wasn't going. I knew no one in Nairobi. You know, the university is what brought me to Nairobi. I was called. I did well. Thankfully, God enabled me to do well in my KCSE exams. So I was called by JAB to the University of Nairobi to pursue Bachelor of Science in Meteorology. Okay, it was Bachelor of Science, general, but because I was so interested in soccer, I was trying to look for something that can give me some, you know, form of leeway, not too tied up, or, you know, so that I can also focus on my football. So I thought, I wasn't guided. I thought in my mind that, yeah, maybe meteorology might be something that can give me that leeway. But yeah, I think I lied to myself. I was shocked. It wasn't that easy. But I thank God I finished. I graduated, and at the same time, you know, I used to play professional football on the side as I'm at the University of Nairobi.
So you are a university graduate.
Yes.
And while you are still a student, a university student, you had now gotten to the Premier League. Wow.
Actually, that going to the university is how God linked me to the connection in the Premier League, because you see, as I told you previously, I was in Gilgil, and in Gilgil, who will come to see you there? There wasn't like a televised, you know, match there, or the matches there were not televised, and it is somewhere in between Naivasha and Nakuru, you know, so it was something very local and not exposed. So coming to the university, I think, was God's way of, you know, exposing me to the...
Wow, that's a good point there that I want you to touch on, because we are talking about survival for the fittest. As a question, because you're saying you're coming to Nairobi, specifically to the University of Nairobi, helped you now gain access to the Premier League. You are still talented.
Yes.
You are still gifted.
Yes.
But this opportunity opened you up. Does that therefore mean that there could be many gifted, talented, you know, people, but just because of not having the same kind of opportunity that you had, you know, there are certain doors that may not be opened for them?
That is definitely true. I know personally of people who are better gifted than I was. We were in the same team, and they were playing strikers B. You know, one of them, I think, is probably alive right now, but forgive me, I will not mention their name. But I could, you know, because it is a good thing. Someone called Ali Mbwana. Oh my goodness, that guy was good as a striker. I used to look at him. We are age mates, and I used to admire him. I'm like, wow. But unfortunately, he never got to play for any team past high school. It was just high school, and then post high school, boom. It was just like that. So that untapped. I don't know maybe he had his opportunity and he did take it, or maybe he never had an opportunity. But I want to think that maybe he had an opportunity, but he didn't see it, or he didn't quite. Because even me, when I was coming to the university, I did not know that this is my opportunity to go to the Premier League.
Yes.
Maybe it came in disguised. So I would say that definitely there are so many more people who are more talented than I was, or than any other talents that we know, gifted than any other gifts that we know there. But unfortunately, they've not been brought to the limelight. And that sadly, exactly. That sadly leads to their demise, or they're just chilling low and maybe diversifying and doing something else just to survive.
The other thing, then, one would wonder, why did you still continue studying? I mean, you had already begun playing football as a professional. Why? What was the use? Because most people, to be honest, would have thought this school thing is just wasting my time. Lecturers are disturbing me with assignments. You know, why should I stress myself? Why was it important for you that you still pursue your university degree?
To be honest, if I was given an option, I would actually have, if I was given an option to step out of the university and given a good opportunity with a good pay and good money, I would definitely have thought about it seriously, because this is something that I was passionate about, and I knew that I was gifted, not only because I was telling myself, but also by the witness of, people around me, people that would see me, and family and friends and whatnot. So the only thing is that, I was the first person to go to university from my family, being in a family, from the village there, a lot of children. The first person to go to university, and I'm not the firstborn, mark you. So I felt some sort of responsibility to continue. And either way, even if I wanted to leave, the money that we were being paid back then as a professional, it was just enough for me to take care of my university fees and, my upkeep and whatnot. It was not something that I could say
you could build a life on.
Exactly. But if it was something else, like probably maybe in Europe, where players are played pretty well and everything, I don't think I would have done meteorology. Maybe I would have done something else that I love, like maybe music or something like that, because I have an interest in music, but not singing. I usually make a joke with my wife that, whenever I sing, some snakes come out from holes, and she's like, oh, please don't.
All right. Okay. Now let's get to your time at, the Kenya Premier League. And so you begin your stint at the Kenya Premier League with AFC Leopards. How does that go, and then how do you progress?
That went pretty well. We were paid, a lot of money for a student. That enabled me pay for my school fees and, my upkeep and all that. And so I think that idea now sold my parent, my dad especially, because he's, the one who's been supporting me all along. Because all along he'd been saying, focus on education, focus on education. But I was like, yes, education and football, education and football. But at least him seeing that I could be able to support myself from that, he started being sold and thinking, maybe there could be something here. Maybe there could be something here. So I started going, and even I was motivated enough to keep working hard. I think I had a dream, that at some point that I would like to go to the Premier League, the English Premier League. Unfortunately, it never happened. But that dream used to make me really work hard, even beyond my, my teammates and colleagues. I would do something extra, I would go, work out extra. When it came to the university, I came with a broken leg, but after healing, I kept on doing my extras and whatnot. People would just see me doing my extras, even in the rain, alone with my ball and everything, and that actually helped me. And I wasn't doing that because I was forced by anyone to do it, but because I wanted to. I was driven to, and because I knew that this is helpful. And so I actually saw fruits, because unfortunately FC Leopards, after 6 months, there were factions and two teams, one team with this camp and another team with this camp, and that is how it was broken. And then I was like, thank God I'm at the university. So I continued on, and then from them on, I went to another team, KRA. Played for it, went to another team, went to Tusker after KRA, because I graduated in 2011. Now I went to Tusker FC, called was top scorer, Won the league with Tusker, being the top scorer.
Oh, you won the league.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. So from Tusker.
Wait, you're glossing over an important matter there. So when you won the league with Tusker FC, which year was that?
That was 2012. Now I graduated. I was playing for KRA in 2011. Graduated, and then when I was top scorer in my national league that back then, Tusker called me.
Okay.
Yeah, and I joined Tusker in 2012. Went there, won the league with them, became the top scorer of the team and whatnot. It was. So
beautiful. The year that you won the league with Tusker, you're also the top scorer for the team.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And as God would have it, the thing I told you, in most of the teams, I don't remember a team that I was not top scorer, because I am the striker. So in all the teams that I would be in, I don't remember a team that I wasn't top scorer. I think maybe a few teams, maybe Nakumat or something like that, because maybe I didn't get an opportunity to play a lot, and that was my last team to play for before I changed careers. But most of the teams, Mathare United as well, in 2016, I was also top scorer of the team, and all that. So it is something, because it is a gift that I was given, and the position that I was playing.
Now, would you say that in your stint as a professional footballer and the gifting that you had, that in terms of your interactions with, whether the players, but even more with the coaching staff, that your gift was alone? Or were there instances where, say, there are things that proved as obstacles for you, and so maybe if it came to team selection, that gifting alone was not what was looked at? Did you face things like those? Wow.
Unfortunately, yes. And I thank God, because God is God. Because there are some teams, I will not mention names, that you actually are very gifted, but you're not playing. So people are asking, even teammates are making jokes, it's because the coach doesn't like you, or the coach maybe is because I'm a Christian and I would not do certain things, for example. And then people will tell me, you are a Christian, the coach would see you in a chupa, atakuona kwa chupa. So akikuona kwa chupa akuweki.
He'll see in a bottle.
Exactly. And therefore he's like maybe told not to play you. So you don't play, you go sit in the bench. But then again, God has in his own sovereignty, he would have it. We would lose one game, we would not even score, or maybe I would be in the bench and we would be struggling, and then they get me in and boom, goal and all that. So God would glorify himself through me, even in such situations. It was very unfortunate. Some things you could just, nobody came outrightly and told you you're not playing because of this and this. But me not playing was definitely not because of my lack of giftedness. So that one I knew, and everyone around me knew. Challenges such as those, unfortunately, at other instances you're told there other coaches would require some form of chai, so that you can play.
Chai, in this case, for maybe our international audiences, is euphemism for bribe.
Exactly, for bribe. I'm like, what? Some of the things I was completely unaware of, and I was like, why would you? You're here because you're gifted. Why would you, again, go ahead and try to give a bribe so that you can play? But it never was spoken to me outrightly, directly, but I was just given. It was hinted to me through the players or through maybe some people in the team. I don't know whether they were sent or not. But I never got to do it, and thankfully, God in his own wisdom usually made sure that he gave me the limelight, however way. Whether we lose and then maybe they get me in and I get to score and we win, or maybe we lose a few games, and then once I'm put in the team, the team will start doing well. Pretty that, I think, because of my Christianity. I faced a lot of hurdles for that,
And so that phrase, I guess, survival for the fittest, doesn't apply there, because as much as you are fit and gifted, still there are other factors that came to bear.
Exactly. Without God, I would not have managed, because assuming I didn't have God, because God knows how to fight for me. And the way the Bible says, there's no wisdom or counsel against the Lord. You know, he knows everything, he sees everything. So because of that, and I was putting my trust in him, he would just organize situations and scenarios to make me shine, or to put me as a light there somehow. It was frustrating for the most part of it. Very frustrating, you know. But eventually, I can look back and say, Lord, here you fought for me. This was not because I was gifted. This was because I was, you know, I was your child. And of course, I can say the same because of, in relation to some of the players who are better gifted than I was from the village and whatnot. So many of them. I just mentioned one, Ali. There are so many others, you know, that would just go to drugs or go to something like. I wasn't born again then, but in his own wisdom, he marked me for getting born again. I got born again in campus by the University of Nairobi. So I don't know. I can just say that, survival for the fittest, that is what you say, but without God, that is nothing. There's nothing like survival for the fittest.
Let me see what, you know, some comments that are coming in. Somebody saying, I'm happy to see Ndege on the show. He makes me miss, you know, sweet football. When Kenyan Premier League was amazing, his days at Tusker as a striker was lit. I wish today's player could follow his footsteps. Thank you. He does not leave a comment, but thank you. Somebody says, hi, Pastor, say hi to the Kenyan Mo Salah. I hope he came with the ball today. I want a penalty challenge.
I would love that. I would love that. You should have thought about that.
Well, thank you for your comments. Keep them coming in. 20316 once again is our SMS line. 0786316316 is our WhatsApp line. So now you have your stint, you know, as a professional footballer. At this time, you're doing it full time. So there's nothing else you're doing. So post-campus, that is your gig. You do not go to be a weather forecaster.
No. Gota Francis, no Gota Francis.
Yes. Yeah. So this is now your bread and butter and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, well, please go ahead.
It was fantastic. I loved it. You know, there's nothing that gives me joy than, you know, doing what I love, and what I love is sports. So I used to have a lot of joy playing it and, you know, engaging in it and trying to become better and better. So it used to be a lot of joy. And I loved it. It was such a fantastic, you know, time of my life. Of course, I was aiming and, you know, desiring to go pro, like pro, like outside the country in Europe, where their leagues are actually well developed and everything, and the payments are really good, and you can survive off that, because, you know, for a professional, any professional sport, you don't have a lot of time, especially something like football, maybe 10 years or so. So that was my aim, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. All
right. And so now at some point, you decide maybe this football thing is not working. Just give us an insight into your journey towards getting there, because I mean, this is the dream, and hopefully you can get to the apex of it, which I guess for many footballers is go to Europe or something. So what was your journey like before finally you decided this is it?
So the frustrations that I told you about with coaches and you know, teams, you know, because the coaches are the ones that have the say on who stays in the team and who doesn't. So it led to a lot of transitions. For example, you're top scorer of the team, and then you're axed. You're like, okay. Axed means, you know, they're saying, you know, they don't want to engage with you any longer. They will not give you a new contract or something like that. Even, you know, at some instances, the management would try to fight, you know, the coach, but I would be like, you know, the coach is the one who's determining who is to play. So for my own good, I don't think it is good to stay where the coach, the one who calls the team and calls the shots, does not want you to play, or keeps on frustrating you. So you would be moved on. You'd be shifted to another team, and then you go there, try your best, and then the same thing keeps on recurring, you know, wrangles and whatnot. Things are not working. You're like, oh man. But I kept on persevering, knowing, one day it's okay. I will get out of this, and I will go somewhere and everything. But it kept on, you know, recurring, and it was so frustrating. And at some point, you know, you're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
And thankfully to God, I went to the university. So I was looking at my fellow footballers who are actually ahead of me and way, playing even for the national team and doing really good. And then after their retirement, you could see them doing things, others, doing unimaginable things to survive.
Yeah.
You're like, is that the life that I want? I was like, no, this is not the life that I want. So that started a conversation within myself, and it stirred me up, and I started thinking about the future for a very long time with these frustrations and whatnot, up to a point where I felt like the frustration had filled to the brim. And, somehow God also connected and led me to an opportunity with a Briband group of schools. I got a scholarship to go to the University of Nottingham to become a teacher. So that meant that I could not continue playing football. So I either would continue playing football
or studying.
So I had to choose one, and I was like, this football and the age that I'm getting to, I think there's no need of me continuing in this side. Let me just go this way. It seems like maybe the Lord is
calling
me this side. So I went to do the postgraduate certificate in education, and that was it. And that is how my journey of changing career from a professional footballer to an international schools teacher started.
All right, I like it. I want us to take a pause, and then when we come back now, we see how your life now transitioned from that. Yes, but I think this is such an enriching conversation, and really looking forward to seeing how this panned out and some of the lessons that you have picked along the way. Well, this is Motivation Monday, where we aim to bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. And today's conversation is both a challenging one, but the story is very inspiring. Rarely do you have a sit down with a former professional footballer who looks at his former years with glee, but also currently is not necessarily feeling like his life is troubled. One that both boasts of his past and rejoices in his present. I think this is a conversation worth having. For now, I want us to listen to these stories of impact, the impact that by God's grace Family Media has brought the way of many people, and then after that we will come back and continue this conversation. Keep sending in your comments. I can see a comment that has come in. We'll be getting to it, but keep sending your comments. 20316 is our SMS line. 0786 316 316 is our WhatsApp line. See you after this.
This is nyumbani, nyumbani, nyumbani. Huku ni home. This is nyumbani, nyumbani, nyumbani. Hello everybody, this is Kendine Kongemo Hall. This is just to say a big thank you to the partners and the friends of Family Media, and just to encourage you, let's keeping Jesus on the airwaves.
People need to get this revelation of life. Why? The society needs something that to bring light, because we are living in darkness of sinful world. So we need the light of God, because God is the light. God is the truth. And God is life. So the society needs this channel, because this channel is bringing light of God in the world, in the society, in the family, and even in the marriages, to know what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to do, and giving us direction. And also making the word of God to be known. Not just to be known, but to have revelation, the content of the Bible.
My name is Jackie Kiaraho, and I am saved. I love the Lord dearly. And we are so glad to have Family Media doing the great work that it is. I'm an advocate of the strength of the family, and so I'm so happy to be in this space right here. We want to ask our sponsors and those that support Family Media to continue doing so that we can keep Jesus on the airwaves.
To become a partner, SMS the word partner to 20316. That's 20316.
Hello everybody, my name is Pastor George, lead pastor at City Lighters Church. Now this coming 30th of May, the year is 2025, we're going to be having an amazing time. And of course myself, I'm going to be there. We're going to be lifting up the name of our Lord Jesus Christ in such a time as this. I know that sometimes we go through challenges, we go through difficult times, but God is calling us to a place of worship. Joining me is going to be Karura Voices, of course led by the lead vocalist Bire, and of course leading us into a time of praise and worship. And also, ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Favor Adiola is going to be with us on that particular day, praying with us and of course giving us a word of exaltation. Please join us on all our social media platforms, that is on Family Media TV, Family Radio, and of course their social media platform. God bless you. Let's see you then in Jesus' name.
Welcome back. This is Motivation Monday, where we bring you challenging conversations and inspiring stories. By the way, do you have plans for this Friday? If you had, please cancel them, because we have something special for you at the prayer circle. Beginning 7 p.m. this coming Friday, we have a special prayer circle event that we are inviting you to come for a time of nourishing worship, of being encouraged with your prayers being prayed for and just trusting God to hear our prayers. And so this Friday, kindly do join us both on Family Radio, Family TV, across all our social media platforms from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. We are looking forward to you joining us this coming Friday. Well, today we are talking about survival for the fittest. As a question, as we engage with Mr. Obadiah Ndege, who's a teacher and a coach and a former professional footballer, having played in the Kenyan Premier League. He's played for the top teams, has won the Premier League, and we are just excited to have him join us for this conversation. So let's just get right back to it. Welcome, Mr. Ndege.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, by the time we went on that break, we were just talking about this transition that now you are making from being a professional footballer now into the area of being a teacher. Mm-hmm. But before that, I want to read a comment by Mr. John Githanga, who's saying, this conversation is taking me down memory lane. During the pinnacle of Kenyan football, when AFC Leopards and Gor Mahia were the talk of town, And I think, that period that really defined, Kenyan football. So before you even get to this transition, would you say the Kenyan Premier League has become better or not? When you compare your days as a footballer and now, do you think we have progressed or retrogressed, in your opinion?
This is strictly my opinion,
yes.
But my opinion is biased.
Yeah.
And cannot be qualified to be a very
standard opinion.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
after I transitioned from professional football here in Kenya,
Yeah.
I rarely follow the Kenyan Premier League matches, mainly because of the frustrations that I went through. People can say trauma,
Yeah.
or maybe because of also what I see,
Yeah.
tear gas and whatnot, which is really unfortunate, apart from the derby that I saw, FC Leopards and Gor Mahia the other day.
Yeah.
And the stadium was packed and I didn't see any tear gas or anything. That was a proud moment.
Yeah.
So I wish we could have such moments
Yeah.
for all the teams, or
Yeah.
even those top teams. I wish we could have such moments, and where people can go to the stadiums with their families, their wives and kids. I've heard of course, unfortunate situations where you hear players were attacked, fans were fighting and whatnot. But if you ask me, I would say maybe we are in stagnation or slightly retrogressed, because during my time the matches were being televised in in one of the broadcasters from international broadcasters. They are being televised.
Yeah.
But currently, I am not aware because I know that they left because of the wrangles and whatnot. They were like, they cleared out.
They could not continue.
Exactly. So right now, I'm not sure that the matches are being televised, and that is sad.
Would you then say, because you have talked about the frustrations you experienced as a player, maybe this frustration that these broadcasters experienced, that sometimes our structures are in such a way that they hinder growth, they hinder even the very best from flourishing?
Exactly, because why is it important to have broadcasting? That is how people are exposed.
Yeah.
If we had broadcasting in Gilgil, I would not have needed to come to Nairobi to be seen by these teams and to be taken and everything. So the same applies to broadcasting the Kenyan Premier League around the world, not only in Kenya. So imagine all the teams around the world looking at Kenyan Premier League and seeing talent and scouting talent and calling people from here. But if you're not being broadcasted, even the sponsors are shying away because they're like, why are we going to sponsor this team that is just local, and maybe we are in an international brand? Okay, even for local brands, when they see wrangles and whatnot, people fighting and what, they're like, why would we want to associate ourselves with such? So you see these structures that are making it very difficult for the talents to flourish, are actually choking the talents here in Kenya,
which is really unfortunate.
Very unfortunate and very sad.
Yeah. Now, you have transitioned now. You've gotten the opportunity for scholarship, and you study. For how long do you study at the University of Nottingham?
1 year. It was a 1-year program. So I did that, and thankfully I finished. I thought it was going to be a smooth transition. Had I known beforehand that it was going to be that tough, I think I would not have gone for it. But God in His own wisdom doesn't usually show you the full picture. In my mind, I thought it was going to be only, like 1 year, and then from there on the job, and then keep going on straight. So thankfully I had done a little bit of my savings. So the savings lasted me a few months, but after that, wow, it was just survival, but not for the fittest. But God, I actually saw the hand of God, because people would come to me, people that do not know my situation, that I'm in school and that maybe I do not have a job currently, and they would be like, God told me to, just give you this. So I felt led to give you this. Now, those were stories that I would hear as a Christian, that people would experience through such stuff. But it was amazing for me to experience that myself. A person that does not know your story, and maybe that day my bike, I have a bike, the tire had burst and whatnot, and I needed a new tire, and someone gives you exactly that amount that you needed to change the tire, because it was helping me with the transport. Another time I have nothing, and then from church someone says, I felt led to give you this. Someone that will just maybe be interacting with in prayer service and whatnot, I felt led by the Lord to give you this. So God was taking care of me nicely. As in, He was my shepherd for real. He was leading me even through that tough time. And I think I stayed without a job for 1 year and I think 6 months, because I finished the year. And then the 6 months, 4 months I was volunteering, and then from the 4 months that I was volunteering, I started, getting something now from that volunteering. I was given a contract as a coach and whatnot in the same Brabant school. So I worked under contract as I was waiting for an opportunity. And that is when I actually learned this lesson, that it is not who you know, not the Godfather. It is not the Godfather that you know, not because you know someone at the high place. That is not what will necessarily open up your door. I was taught that lesson, definitely. And not once, not twice, maybe 3 times, because the first time I thought, now I've got it, Lord, I've got it. I've got it. And then the third time I was like, okay. I think exactly I give up, and that is when I actually got it. What am I saying? So I was in Brabant, and I knew someone in some Brabant schools, the principals, because I was working in Brabant schools, and that opportunity came, and I was like, because I'm known here, I got this. I think I'm gonna get this job. I wasn't given the opportunity. They told me, I know you are a sports person. This this is a, what do you
A
call it?
class.
This is a class.
Yes.
This is a class setting. I know you will get bored, you know, if you go into the classroom. So if it was a sports thing, like a PE teacher, I would definitely give it to you. I was like, okay, you have a point there.
Yeah.
And then immediately, I think a month after that, a sports teacher got an opportunity somewhere else outside the country, and they went. And I was like, hallelujah, Jesus, you had. Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. They told me this. So you see where my faith was. They told me this, and now this has happened. I was not even thinking about, God is organizing whatnot. My mind was solely on what they said, this person. So when I went to the interview, I went to the interview very confident, and I was even telling my friends, you know, some of them, you know, know themselves.
Yeah.
So I was very confident that I have this, I got this.
Yeah.
And then I just received a communication that they opted to go with someone else. Now it was a different reason, who had experience. I was like, come on, man. I was from this school, I was given, you know. So I just decided to tone down on that. I was like, okay, it's okay. I will not focus on this. So another opportunity came. And then the same thing applied. Because I had experienced this guy this way, I had even worked with them, and then nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then there came a friend of mine from church who told me, but there's another school somewhere that is hiring. Do you mind? I didn't even know the school. That was the first time of me hearing this school. That was West Nairobi School now. And I applied for it. It was a Christian school. I applied for it, and I was called for an interview. And I was hired as a PE teacher, and that was it. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have a conversation with anyone. My confidence was not in, some type of relationships that I had, with people, or some type of interactions that I had with the principals or whatnot. Nothing.
Yeah.
So you see, God made sure that He taught me that, not once, not twice, not thrice, I think multiple times. And I thought I had it the first time, but actually, He taught me that He is my shepherd and He's taking care of me, and it is knowing Him that matters,
not knowing others.
Other person,
it's interesting you mentioned that because it seems like as a society we are caught up in, who we know, which is sad. I want us to get to where you are currently and what it is that you do currently. But somebody has asked a question. Feel free to respond to it. And this is a football question. They are saying, I ask you why we have the same players in our national team when we have so many emerging stars. Is our national team captured by some cartels?
That person, I think, is a person who has a lot of information, because that is exactly true. Because I would be, okay, let me give my example, because I know my example. I would be, like on a high, I would be really good, scoring goals and everything and all this. Not even one mention, not even one call. Okay, so that is me, but I'm biased. Everyone thinks they're really good. But that is true. There are other players that I see in other teams, I used to see in other teams that were super good. And you're like, what? How is this possible that this person is not in the national team or is not called? And of course, you get to see and you get to know. Let me give you another example. Someone is in a bench of a certain team in the Premier League. They are not even playing in their team. They're not playing in the first team. They are always in the bench. But when a national team call comes, they are called. They're in the national team. You're like, what? How is this? So, and I was told, I think, because, I have friends there. So, these are just agents. They are working. They want to spruce up your CV, the CV of the player, so that when they take them out there, they have to say, this has a national team call-up. They have several national team call-ups. So, you see, you don't even need to play. You just need to have a call-up so that it can be something in your CV. So, you see, it is, you can say that it is captured. Sad. Maybe one or two can get there because, I don't know, but mostly because we are very talented as Kenya. We are very talented. You can see it in the under 17 teams, the lower leagues teams, like the under 12 and whatnot. You can see. Even when we participate, like I think Mathare United, when they participated in international things, they go there and they win these things when they are under 12 and whatnot. So if it is the same players that are playing and the same rules are being applied to selecting people to come to the national team, how comes when they have grown up,
we do not see the same quality?
Exactly, we do not see the same quality. You can say development, coaching and whatnot. Yes, you can say that. But
there are other factors.
Other factors that are contributing.
Somebody else is asking, has Ndege considered being a coach? Because he is talented and spiritual. he will be perfect to coach upcoming stars to be fit on field and at heart. So I guess let's get to where you are currently, even as you respond to that question and as we gear towards a wrap-up of our conversation.
Yeah, coaching like a Premier League team, I don't know whether that is what they mean, or coaching. Yeah, that is what I love doing, because even in my active football days, I used to be, I love working with kids. Even before I became a teacher, I was informally a teacher, because I used to work with kids, do my personal training in the neighborhoods where I would play, and kids would come and I would take them, and we do things together. So, and people would say, yeah, you can make a very good teacher. I was like, no, not me. You can make a very good coach. Yeah, I know, yeah. Okay, I can coach them and whatnot, but I didn't think I was intending to become a coach. But yeah, I am currently a coach. I'm coaching kids, coaching different sports, swimming. I'm coaching sports, not only kids, but I'm also coaching adults.
Yeah.
So squash, swimming mainly, but I'm also football, yes, fitness as well. I'm trying to do that.
But as a personal coach, not as a
personal coach,
team.
not as a team coach currently. So currently I'm doing it as a private personal coach. You have a need, you call me, and then we see your need and we work together towards that. If it is fitness, if it is squash, it is a very good sport. Swimming,
so you have moved from just football now. You've gotten also into other sports.
Yes. I got trained. I'm a lifeguard. I got trained by a YMCA during my transition years to teaching. So I knew that this is also part of sports. So I also went and trained for that. So I'm a qualified and certified lifeguard from YMCA. So I'm also doing that. So
so
I'm doing
swimming. There's you've said squash.
Yeah, squash. Fitness as well. I've been training a couple of people here and there.
So if I come with my belly fat, you can assure me in 1 week I will be trimmed.
Not 1 week, definitely. But we will first of all figure out what your need is, and then look at a plan, make a plan, see where you are, and then see how we will take you from where you are to where you want to be.
Okay.
It might take a lot of time. It may take not a lot of time, depending on the person and the availability of all that. So
all right.
It hasn't caught up very well, but that is what we are on currently.
Okay. Now maybe as a parting shot then from you. There's somebody listening, maybe it could be the person or a parent of someone listening, and they're gifted, could be gifted could be gifted in sports, could be gifted academically, could be gifted. Just in view of what we are talking about today and in view of your own life, what will be your advice to such a person or the parent of such a person?
To the parent of such a person, support them. Support, especially from a parent, means a lot. When a child knows that their parent supports what they are doing, and they're actually not supporting only in words, but also materially and opportunities and all that, that will enable that child or that individual flourish. It will give you the best possible chance to succeed in that area. And for the person who is gifted and all that, giftedness will take you nowhere. It is your commitment and dedication to that gift, to nurturing that gift, and actually what do you call it, putting a lot of manure, a lot of things, doing the extraordinary things on top of your giftedness. That is what will make you ready for when the opportunity comes, because opportunity comes to everyone, and when it comes, will it find you ready? So you need to be intentional and be ready and be prepared all the time, because you never know when the opportunity will come knocking at your door. But far and above that, if you have God, He is the best, because He knows how to lead you and guide you through those difficult routes. And you may not see the whole picture right now, but eventually you will look back and say, God. For example, even for me right now, I'm not, my wife and I are expecting, a baby in August and all that. And this, what I'm doing currently is not fully, able to sustain us and everything, but I thank God that my wife has something that she's doing, and she's been very graceful, in supporting and all that. So we are doing well, but of course I would like to have something, very formal when that time comes, so that she may also have that, confidence to rest and just be a mom for a while without her necessarily thinking of, because that is what my wife wants, and that is also what I would love, for me to be able to take care of my family fully and nicely without my family worrying about such things and what. So,
all right, thank you, and may the Lord make a way for you to that regard. If someone wants to reach out to you, how do they do that? Do you have like an email address that they can reach out to you?
Yes. My email address is Obadia or Obadiah.ndege, just at gmail.com.
Okay. Obadiah.ndege@gmail.com. But also, if someone reaches out to us, we'll be able to pass on your contact. Thank you so much, Mr. Ndege. Thank you for sharing with us your story. Thank you for inspiring us. I believe somebody has been helped to appreciate life, that sometimes there are things that happen, not because we are not gifted, but just because there are circumstances. But I like what you said. If we then trust God, He's able to orchestrate things and lead us.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, we have come to the end of our conversation for today, and it is my prayer and hope that it has been insightful for you. It's been inspiring, but also challenging. And so I don't know how gifted you are, how skilled you are. I don't know what God has bestowed upon you, but as we have been encouraged, that alone is not enough. Put in the dedication, the commitment, but above all, trust in the one that has bestowed those things to you. And may the Lord, despite the circumstances working against you, may the Lord still make a way out for you, and may you thrive and flourish. See you next Monday for another conversation. But before I go, please do consider being one of our partners, because we are able to bring you programs like this because we have partners that come alongside us. And so feel free to send an SMS with the word partner to 20316, and somebody will get back to you. Or perhaps if you have something and you would like to donate to the work that we do here, feel free to do that through paybill number 316316, and for account, just write your phone number. May the Lord bless you, and may He make a way for you, even where there seems to be no way. May He do it for His glory and for your good. See you next Monday.
My name is Pastor Favor Adeola, and I'm from Christ Foundation Ministries International. I want to use this opportunity to invite you to the I Worship Experience. I'll be ministering on the place of worship in a believer's life. Don't miss it for anything. It's the next best thing that ever happened to you. I need to be aired on Family TV, Family Radio, and across all social media platforms. Don't forget, it's happening 30th of May 2025, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. It's gonna be amazing. God bless you. See you soon.